thank you to our viewers who are tuning into another CSE listed issuer update. This is also technically a newly listed clip. I'm Anil Mall, representing the Canadian Securities Exchange. I'm speaking with Misty Urbatsch. Misty is the president and CEO of Nickel Corp, trades on the CSE under the symbol CNCO, and actually just started trading late November in 2023. Misty, welcome. How are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm doing really good. Enjoying some good Saskatchewan weather here.
Hope it's not too cold out there.
No, it's almost +2.
Okay. Decent. Misty, why don't we get started by having you give us a little bit of an introduction to Core Nickel Corp. What's the focus of this company?
Sure. So Core Nickel Corp, we're a junior nickel exploration company. We've got 27,000 hectares of land in the prolific nickel district called the Thompson Nickel Belt in Manitoba. We have 5 great properties near existing mines, mills, highways, and also electrical grids. So really great infrastructure. Like you said, we're newly listed. We were a spin out from a company called Canalaska Uranium. So Canalaska had these great nickel projects, and they thought, let's spin them out into its own nickel company and really start to build more shareholder value on the nickel portfolio that they'd built. So we spun out of Canalaska in November 10th, I think it was, of 2023. And then shortly after, we were listed with the CSE on November 27th of 2023. So we're really new, just coming out of the uranium company and ready to explore the nickel space.
So speaking about the nickel space, Misty, when you pay attention to investments in the mining community, there's a lot of buzz around uranium, copper, lithium, graphite, nickel. Why should investors be paying attention to this metal?
Yeah, so nickel was it was a part of it was a big part of the push, the battery metals, critical minerals push. We started to see a downtrend in the nickel price, largely due to Indonesia being a large player in the nickel space. They're really flooding the market with cheaper nickel that goes right to China. And China's a big buyer of nickel. So that's a oversupplied market we're sitting in at the moment. We're seeing nickel mines around the world. Australia shutting down, for example, a couple of nickel mines. So we're in sort of a depressed market at the moment. But when you look to the future, electric vehicles, battery storage, all that it's gonna be a part of electrifying our grids, electrifying the future, EVs. So it's really more of a long-term investment than a short-term investment at the moment. And they're saying by the year of 2025, we should likely be in a nickel deficit. So it's really kind of the time to get in early in the nickel play. And I spent a lot of my career, over 15 years of my career, in uranium, and I'm a proponent for uranium, but I saw the depressed uranium market and watched it come up to where it is today, working within a large uranium producer. And I sort of see that's where we're at with nickel. We're in that depressed space where uranium was, say, in 2017, and it has nowhere to go but up, one would say. But I think it'll go a lot faster than we saw the uranium space go, just because of the push, even by governments, to start electrifying the grid, and EVs coming into play, large consumer demand for that as well.
Now, earlier in your introduction, Misty, you did mention the region of Manitoba, why it's important. Obviously, great infrastructure, access, all of that stuff really matters. But what is the significance of nickel in Manitoba?
So Manitoba, the Thompson Nickel Belt, and there's other nickel regions within Manitoba, but the Thompson Nickel Belt specifically has been producing nickel since the 1960s. Vale's been in there since the 1960s. And so it's a known nickel district that's been producing nickel for decades and decades to come, most likely. So it's just prolific and a great place to, keep expanding the nickel belt with more discoveries.
Got it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your background, Misty. Mm-hmm. What is it? How did you get into this space?
So I've worked for 15 years for CNCO, a large uranium producer out of Saskatchewan here. I'm an exploration geologist by trade. I did 12 years exploring for uranium, unconformity type, sandstone type uranium in Australia, and here in Canada in the prolific Athabasca Basin for Cameco. When the uranium market was kind of depressed, there weren't a ton of opportunities to, move around in the uranium space. So I decided to do a master's in business. And once I completed that, I went into Cameco's marketing team and worked with them on contract execution. And I did sales, international sales and uranium trading with them as well. And so sort of when this critical minerals hype started going down, I sort of missed, I was like, I'm missing out on the fun part of the exploration game. And I've always wanted to try getting into a different commodity because I've been in uranium for so long. This opportunity came up from an ex-colleague of mine that's the CEO of Canalaska, Corey Gillick, and he mentioned, hey, come over and try this. Let's do this nickel thing. And so here I am running this nickel company, and it's been nothing but fun since the beginning.
And, the success of any company also, a lot of credit goes to the team members. Are you able to talk about any key team members that you've brought on board as well?
Well, the team members right now is just me. I'm a one-woman show at the moment, working on building a solid team. I've got a really solid board of directors that a lot of them have come from Canalaska. They've got a plethora of different backgrounds, but largely within the mining space and also within the junior uranium and exploration space. So we're working on building out the team. We're super new, and we're gonna we have lots of amazing things that we're going to be doing on the team front, but that's still yet to come.
You mentioned super new. As a reminder to our viewers, the company did list just late in November. So I think it was November 24th, you had said?
So November 27th, yeah.
November 27th, there we go. So obviously, these things are all in the words. I noticed that the company put some news out earlier this month as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about the upcoming drill program?
Sure. So one of the parts of the CSE listing was we listed on the Halfway and Resting Lake projects. They're really prestigious projects that sit in the southern part of the Thompson Nickel Belt near the Bucko mine and mill and Manabridge mine. There's lots of really nice infrastructure around there as well. So we've decided to focus our first exploration program down there. And there's a lot of historical work that was done. One of the historical holes hit about 1.3% nickel over about 3 meters. So we've got really good grades in an area that's sort of been underexplored, and it was explored back in the 1960s mostly. So historical work. So our plan is to get in and sort of rejuvenate these historical areas that we have these elevated nickel values, and look for some missed opportunities, and then also expand on that in a more exploratory method later on, and start building out the project. So our program, we're going to be drilling on known nickel with openings along strike and down dip. And we are working on securing our permits as well. So we're well on the way to getting our permits approved and ready to roll. And we'll hopefully be on the ground drilling by March 9th-ish, just after PDAC, hitting the ground running.
Got it. Now, you did mention a lot of the strong points, like a good infrastructure, obviously getting a drill program going. Do you have any peers in the same region? And how do you and your company differentiate from your peers that might be in the same space and region?
The Thompson Nickel Belt is largely held by Vale. So they're a really big company. They hold a lot of the land in the exploration land in the Thompson Nickel. But there's a couple of other smaller exploration companies like us that do great work. I think one thing that we have cutting edge is our ability to build relationships. And when it comes to working in the northern communities, especially Northern Manitoba, it's about, building that relationships, creating the value right on the ground, right away, and really unlocking the people within the communities and utilizing their expertise. So we've been really working on building those relationships within the town of Woboden, where we'll be working out of. And yes, like I said, I've got 12 years of exploration experience. I'm working for a large company in exploration. And so I bring a lens of how to look at a portfolio from a exploration perspective rather than just a project by project scenario. And as I've mentioned to you, we've got 5 really great properties that all have nickel intersections on them. And we could go and explore all of those till the cows come home, but it's how to explore our ground most effective and the best. And I think that's what I bring. And I'm going to make sure that when I employ others, that's a top priority, is how to spend the best money, essentially.
Well said, Misty. Now, we always encourage our viewers to do their due diligence. Obviously, go to your website, sign up for your press releases, read up on the location, the project, and the team. Where would you like to direct our viewers so they can do their homework?
You got it. You can find us at www.corenickel.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter there. Also, find us and follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. And we also have a YouTube channel. At Core Nickels, our YouTube channel and our handle on Twitter as well.
Well said. Now, to everybody listening, watching and listening, you've been hearing from Misty Urbatsch. She is the president and CEO of Core Nickel Corp. Misty, again, I appreciate you taking the time to join us and talk to us about the company. And of course, we look forward to not only seeing you at PDAC, but again, maybe hosting you back on once you've got some drill results and we have more to talk about.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And make sure you guys all come visit us at PDAC at our booth.
All right. Well, thanks once again, Misty. You have a great day.
You too. Thanks again.